Hey there everyone, this is Conquer01 and thanks for checking out this video. Now, I know that some of you viewers out there might have actually wanting some answers from this particular video itself about Tanto Cuore, the deck building card game, as you can see right in front of you. For some of the commentators, the viewers, first of all, I'd like to apologize to Novars, Poshu Mokona, and Magibai. Well, first of all, I know that coming up and saying sorry is really a cheap excuse to get away with not, coming out with a re-recording for what was supposed to be a full video originally. So, I'm sorry that it took me so long just to get back to you guys. So, I'm gonna go through again with a full walkthrough. Well, not entirely full walkthrough. There are some cards that are not involved in this particular segment, but we can go to that in more detail in the future videos. So let's start with a example demonstration of two players playing. So in this case, I already prepared two decks. The deck itself consists of 7 One Love and 3 Colette Framboise. Framboise, yes, I believe that's it. Colette Framboise. Maybe in Italian. So, you pretty much take 7 of the 1 cards, 3 of those cards, shuffle it together into your first starting deck. Each player will have a total of 10 cards. This is how they start with. Okay, that is the starting rule. Let's see. So I'm just gonna put side by side, and we'll play in terms of rounds. Each player starts with first drawing 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the rules, the game itself goes in phases. Okay, so the phases are as the following. The phases are, first is the let me just get that a bit. There we go. So the phases, first off, is, okay, we have the starting phase. That's number 1, starting phase. Number 2, the serving phase. Number 3, the employ phase, or the employment phase, or what do you want to call it. And 4th is the dismiss phase. Now the names itself is a bit fanciful, but for those who has played Dominion, it's pretty much the same. The first is that any cards that have a starting effect, you start to run it. The second one is that you start playing any main cards. The third is that you use your love cards, in which case it's something like a currency to buy stuff, but in this case you hire maids to put into your mansion, put into your deck, so to speak. And finally, 4, you end your turn, you take whatever cards that you have in your remaining have in your hand and put them on the side in your discard pile and draw 5 cards. Okay, but of course, explain to you now, you might not know what the hell's going on, so we go step by step. So first off, as you can tell, I have 3 One Loves, coming out with a total of 3 loves to employ a maid. For now, just understand you have 1 serving. That's all you start with first. Everyone starts with 1 serving and 1 employment. Okay, so remember this: one serving, 1 employment. So first, 1 serving. Am I going to do anything to this? No, not yet. I'll explain to you what I'm going to do with that later. Next, I move on to 1 serving. What does 1 employment? 1 employment just means that I can use the 3 love in my hand, and in my existing hand right now, the 3 love in total, to employ or buy any other cards with a cost of 3 hearts or less. Do note, I did say that it is 1 employment, so that means you can only get 1 card, no more than that. So in other words, if you're gonna get like a card which has 2 hearts, too bad, you cannot get another card. It's strictly 1. But there will be other cards that allows you to get more cards, but we'll get to that later. So for now, remember, we have 3 love, so I'm gonna get a card with 3 love or less. So in this case, let's see, let's go with something simple. All right, so I think I'm gonna get myself some. Oh, this doesn't work. Give me a moment. Let's. Not much help here. I suppose I'll get this. So this, as you can tell on the top left corner, it says 3, so that means I used up my turn. I just take all of this. Forgive me, I am recording this all from a mobile phone, so handling the game on one hand is kind of tricky. So pretty much, anyway, once I buy this card, it actually goes into this card pile. Just put on the side, and then you take 5 cards. That's how the basic turn goes. You always have 5 cards in your hand at any given time, unless of course there are other cards to do that, but again, we'll get back to later. Now, once I'm done with this, player 2 starts. Player 2 draws 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. Let's put this to the side. 5. Oh, good. So player 2 has 4 love. So remember, each player starts with, what was that? 1 serving, and the other one, 1 employment. Maybe I'm not expecting to say out loud, but oh well. So we have 4 love. That means I can get a card of 4 or less. So what I'm gonna get, let's see, I will get maybe this. Geneve, whatever. So pretty much there are some icons here which we will get to that later. Again, remember, any card that you employ, any card that you get, immediately once the employment phase is over, you take this, put this on the side into your discard pile, and draw another 5. Alright, so turns over. Player 1. Player 1 now has 4 love. And 4 love and 1 collect. But again, we will do. I'll explain to this what happens later. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 love, and what I'm gonna get. Let's get something different. I'm gonna get. Is queen for it? Yeah. There we go. So a maid grease monkey. Okay, done. Player 2. Oh, and do note, once your draw pile is finished, right, and at the end of your turn, you're supposed to draw another 5 cards. See, so in the event that this happens, shuffle your discard pile. Shuffle it up. Okay, and then you draw another 5. Remember that every time that your turn ends and you put your existing hand into the discard pile, you always draw another 5 more before your turn officially ends. Okay, so now player 2, you have 3 hearts. So player 2 says, you know what, I'm gonna get this one. Colette Flambours. Now, why am I getting that? I'll share with you that in a while later. Let's put that down. Again, player 2 shuffles it to the best of its ability in a one-handed hand manner. Okay, done. Now, player 1 again. Player 1 draws 5 cards. Okay, so we will be able to do something interesting today. Now, remember, just now what I said, each player starts with 1 serving and 1 employment, right? So notice we haven't been using serving. There's a reason why, because serving that's where these maid cards come into play. Now, most maid cards requires 1 serving. All the blue ones requires 1 serving unless described otherwise. And the game is a bit more complex. Well, there's a bit more depth to it, but we'll get to that in a bit more. So I decide to well, the word use isn't proper for the ladies, but I decide to use her. I decide to have her serve me. Her ability says, can you see it? No, the autofocusing for the phone sucks, so I'll just read it to you. It says, you may look at the top card of any player's deck, including yours, and then decide whether to send that card into their discard pile or not. So it just pretty means that I can just look. Well, the description is already quite clear cut, right? So that is this particular maid's ability. But you will also notice one of the icons is highlighted with a +2, right? Even though if it's a little blurry, you should be able to tell. So this means that the ability of this card is part of whatever this card can provide. So it is not just the ability of the text that it describes, but it also provides you with 2 additional hearts. Now notice I have 2 love here, 2 love currency hearts here. So that means 2 plus 2 equals 4. This turn I can use 4. Alright, cool. So first, I decide to use its ability. What I'm going to check on, I decide to look at my at player's 2 cards and see what he has. The player 2 does not see it, I do. What does he has? He has this collect card. Now, what do? I decide to leave it at the top of the deck. I'm not going to put them into this card pile. So this card's special ability can be used to, you know, do something really, really mean. You know, helps you to foretell what's your next card and then decide strategically what you want to do. Just a little side note, I might make a separate video or rather videos on individual cards to share with you on their abilities, strength, weaknesses, and also share my insights about the game. Alright, so the ability is done and I have 4 hearts to use. What I want to do, I decide to get I'll get her. Right, there we go. So again, I take all of this, put it to the side, I draw 5 cards. Player 2 starts, draws 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, awesome. Now, again, remember, each player starts with 1 serving, 1 employment, right? So, this card, if you look closely, there are now 3 highlighted icons. Now that's where, okay, remember this is +1 love, right? So that's quite obvious. The 2 highlighted icons, that's why I share with you now. This top one, right, it's supposed to be +1 +1 deck. It means that when you actually call have this maid serve you, remember, consumes 1 serving, you get to draw a card. Okay, then this hand, this hand here +1, is add 1 additional serving. So what does this mean? It means that if I actually play, okay, now remember that we have 1 serving, right? So if I actually play this card originally, it consumes 1 serving, which becomes 0. However, remember, but this card allows me to add an additional serving, which therefore is 0 + 1. So therefore, I can actually call 1 more maid to serve me, or rather you, or me. Never mind. So, so first, I actually start with drawing a card. What does this card say? It's a collect. It's not going to help me much. And the servings, pretty much, I can't use any of these cards to do any servings for me. Why is that so? I mean, these cards are maid cards, right? Well, there's a reason for that, which I will explain later. So, all in all, for now, we have 1 love, 2 love, 3 love. 3 love, what am I going to get? 3 love, I decide to get... Yeah. Maybe her. Okay, so I take this, put this on the side. Player 1 jump starts to player 1. Player 1 takes 1, 4, 5 cards. Awesome. Now, so again, 1 serving, 1 employment. First, consume serving. Now this card says you may discard up to 2 cards from your hand. If you do, you gain 1 serving per card discarded. Okay? And it also allows you to draw 2 cards from the deck. Very useful. Now, there are some strategies here. Okay, now this is gonna get a bit confusing, so just bear with me. First of all, in your mansion, which is your deck really, but just imagine that you have a house here. Okay, in your mansion you have your private chambers, aka your own personal bedroom. Now, as the master of the bedroom, you can actually let me see, what's the proper word, promote, promote certain maids to become your private maids. Yes. Now, the private maids itself is a concept of pretty much putting maid cards into a separate area of your deck that can provide certain abilities. However, do note, any cards that is placed into your private chambers does not get shuffled into your deck. It is a separate area. So in other words, do not confuse it with your discard deck and your drawing pile. Do not. It does not get shuffled into it in any way. So Here's a demonstration. Again, remember, if I use this card, I consume how many? 1 serving, so it becomes 0, right? But I decide to actually do something a little crazy. I decide to discard 2 love. Okay, discard 2 love. You may turn it on my hand. If you do, you know what? Let's just draw the cards first. It actually gives you an additional advantage. So just draw it first, and I decide to discard 2 1 love. Okay, so therefore giving me. So you remember 0 servings down, right? But remember that discarding each card gives me 1 serving. So therefore I discard 2. Then equals 2 servings, right? Cool. So let's put this on the side now. Here is where I describe Colette Flamboyant. Now, if you notice, her border isn't exactly blue. It's more like a greenish. The camera isn't that well, but it's supposed to be a different color. See that? Now, why is he so special? Notice that she doesn't have those icons like this card does. There's a reason. First of all, she is what you call a maid chief. Again, you can't really tell. The focusing does not work at all, but I'll describe to you. Chambermaid with arrow of a hand sign -2. It means that you can put her as your private chambermaid with for the cost of 2 servings. Yeah, you get it? You get what I'm doing? So, and it also says at the end of the game, if you have more Colette employed than any other player, you gain a bonus 5 VP. Now, a new concept. What the hell is a VP? I never really mentioned to you now, right? Did I? VP equals victory points. You do not win the game ultimately by having the most cards or having the most love cards or whatsoever. No, you win based on these numbers at the top right corner. See, so these cards are actually quite useful too. Some of the other cards have numbers at the top, some of the or like big numbers at the top, and some of them even have combos that you can merge together to produce even more points. So, but again, I don't wish to confuse you. We just go this slow. So first of all, I decide to put her into my chamber, my private chamber. So I put her separated from my discard pile. She does, again, remember, any card that is put into your private chamber is not shuffled into your deck whatsoever. Okay, so I have 3 love. I'm gonna get and again 1 employment, 3 love. I'm going to get what am I gonna get? I suppose I get her. Now 2 love. I don't mind. I have one love. Does that mean I can get another card? No. Again, remember, 1 employment means you can only buy 1 card. So I take this, take this here, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay. Put this here. Now, player 2 draws 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now. We go through the process again. 1 serving, 1 employment. I have no blue cards here. I cannot call a maid into service. I cannot put this card into my chambermaid because it requires 2 servings. I only have 1. So don't bother about this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 love. What am I gonna get? I am going to get 2 love. You see, 4 hearts for the price of 2. The conversion rate is kind of screwed up, but that's the point, I suppose. Anyway, so again, you can buy these cards for love for 2. Bam. This is still considered as employment too. So just think of employment as the number of things you can buy. Done. Now notice that this is 1 card and I'm supposed to shuffle. So you do not shuffle this into your discard pile. When you need to draw 5 cards after you discard, right, and you only have 1 or like 4 or less you can draw from the existing deck, a drawing pile, that's when you shuffle your discard pile and take any standing number of cards that you have yet to draw to come up to a total of 5 cards in your hand. So therefore, since I got 1, I need to draw 4 more. So, but we do that later. Just put this on top. I don't shuffle it. There we go. Next, player 1. Player 1 draws another 5 cards. There we go. So I have this card now. Okay, remember I can do serving. This calls for serving. Now, do I want to discard any cards? I decide not to. I just want her to give me 2 cards. You know what? Maybe I'll just discard this card. All right, I'll discard this card to give me 1 additional serving. So I draw 2 more cards. Bam, bam. No maid cards. It's not gonna help me. So it's okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 love. That's a lot. So what am I gonna do with 5 love? For 5 love, I'm going to get her. All right. So let's shuffle those up again. So far, so good. Next, I hope you guys are following. If I'm too fast or anything, any questions, just leave it in the comments below. I'll try to explain those as much as I can. Next, jump to player 2. Player 2 draws 5. Oops, this is on here. So 5 cards. 5 love. That's a lot. So player 2 decides to get Sainsbury Lockwood. Again, shuffle. There. Now, as you can tell, once you actually get into the gist of it, you can make plans to it, and the gameplay can go pretty fast. If you have more people, then of course it might take a while, but naturally, if you actually make the steps beforehand, the game itself, as much as it might seem very long, can go really fast. So again, player 1 draws 5 cards. Bam. Ooh, player 1 has a total of 3 maids. That's a bit of a problem. See, you only have 1 serving, right? So that means only one of the maids can help you out. So there is a particular strategy to it. So it pretty much goes like in step. You play the first maid, it produces an effect, then you actually follow up on top of that, and then follow up, and then follow up, and so forth. So technically, which I already seen it in action, it is possible to even play like up to 10 cards, you know, in a row, even completely exhausting the deck again, and then reshuffling and all that stuff. So it is entirely possible, and you can play as many cards as you want as long as the conditions are met. You must have sufficient servings. You must have sufficient employment. You must have sufficient love to do whatever that you wish to do. So first, these 2 cards will consume servings. So I'm going to put them aside first. But however, she provides an additional serving, provides an additional card from the deck, and provides an additional heart. So I'm going to use her first. So what was 1 serving is consumed, but she gives 1 serving. Boop. One is back. I draw a card. My deck is now exhausted, but I get myself a heart. But that also means I can use one more. I have 1 more maid to serve me. Now, who I'm going to use now? I've already used her before, so I'm going to share with you what this card does. Again, I will go into more in depth about all of the cards that is in the first edition of Tanto Cuore in individual videos, so as to share with you the descriptions and strategies possibly involved in all that stuff. Now, this card says Chambermaid 1 serving. Now notice, only cards that says Chambermaid in the description, not the title, in the description, with the little hand there, -1 or -2, only allows those cards to become your chambermaids. But in this case, this card, this maid, does not allow you to promote her into a chambermaid. So there is a difference. It doesn't mean that you can take any maid and put her into a chambermaid. No, only cards that says chambermaid allows you to put them into your private chambers. Confused? I hope not. So what is her ability? Let's see. She says for each set of 2 or 3 crescent sisters you have as chambermaids, you get bonus VP, blah 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 blah. Now at this point in time, it's not going to help you much here, because there's supposed to be 2 more different types of cards under the same last name. They are known as the crescent sisters. You don't really see it right now, because this is pretty much a very random a set that just randomly pick up, which can change the course of the game and strategies and all that stuff, but that's for another time. So in other words, putting her as a chambermaid doesn't really help much, but at the very least she provides 1 VP, and she also provides an additional employment. This is the last icon that I did not explain. Now first, so we just go and do a quick rundown. The first one, draw a card. The second one, get additional heart. The third one, right here, get additional serving, and the fourth one, get additional employment. This means you can buy more than one card. In this case, it adds another one. So that means you got two employment. You can buy 2 cards. But, however, you can only buy that much amount of cards within the limit of your love. So just to simplify this, you have 2 love, right? Or rather, player 1 has 2 love. That means you can get 2 of the cards in any one of this, but their total hard cost must come out to a total of 2 and not more than that. It can be lesser, but then again, you can't possibly go lesser than that. So that means I could go for a 2 1 love. They come to a total of 2, but I cannot get say a 1 love and this, 1 love and this. That's a total of 4. It won't go through. Alright, so 2 love, it's not gonna help me much, but I still gonna want this, right? So that means 3 love. But do I want to get anything special? Let's see. Not that much. It's not gonna help me much. But so if that's the case, I guess I'm gonna get myself some. I guess I'm gonna get her. Okay. Take that. Shuffle. Oh well, yes. Well, shuffle. Because my deck is finished, I shuffled it by mixing them up. Okay, and supposedly draw 5. Player 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now 3 Colettes doesn't help much, but at the very least I have this card. Okay, starting to see the trend there. Great. So I have her serve me. I draw 1 card. Now the Colette doesn't seem to help much, but at the very least I got 1 serving, which again doesn't help much. So with Genevieve d'Aubigny, I got 1 heart, 2 hearts, 2 loves to buy. Not much to do. Well, I can get her at the very least. Yeah. There we go. Let's put that on the side. I can draw 2. So that means I'll just shuffle this. Cut. There. Put these on top. Okay. Player 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Now I'm not gonna explain much. I'm just go through the process, and then if there's anything new, I'll share again. I forgot to do this though. Let me just put this on the side. There we go. Those are something special, which I'll explain later. I actually forgot to flip those over. So anyway, first play. Draw 1 card. I have additional serving. Awesome. And I decide not to have her serve me. I'll have her serve me instead. Remember, her ability allows me to check the top card of any player's deck, including mine, and decide whether to send that card into the discard pile or not. So I decide to check out the player's 2. Oops, sorry. Oh, it's a 1 love. I don't like player 2, so this goes into the discard pile. Discard pile. Player 2 is furious. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 love. That's a lot. So 5 love. I'm going to get. Let's see. Her. Let's see. Let's put this here. Done. Player 2 draws 5 cards. Player 2 remembers player 1 has been very mean to him, so he thinks he might as well just do the same to him. Bam. Player 2 check us out the top card. Player 1. Player 1. Top card is a 1 love. He says discard it. Bam. Gone. Now how many love I have? I see the 2 love is here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 love. That's a lot. So 6 love, 6 love, 6 love. This time, actually, I'm gonna go something a little different. Instead, player 2 decides to get this card. You see something special about this. This is what we call a private maid. Now these private maids itself, they themselves, there's not really much of a duplication here. They are unique cards in the entire game, and normally these private maids are very powerful because they have abilities that does not consume serving. Does not consume serving points. Now, just to read up what this, it says, if any of your maids caused you to draw a card, you may draw an additional card. This effect can only happen once per turn. Awesome, huh? Now remember that whenever that you buy a card, employment maid or whatever, whenever you buy a card, it just goes into your discard pile, right? However, private maids are different. See, private maids, whenever you buy them, so to speak, they go straight into your private chamber immediately. They don't even get shuffled at all. So in other words, their abilities will start as long as it is in the relevant phase. Now the serving phase is actually before that, so the ability doesn't kick in. So, but we'll put that by the side, bam, right here. Now the turn's over. Remember, you can only buy one card. So even though I have 6 love and that costs only 4, I cannot buy another card. Put this here. Player 1 takes out 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Player 1. Player 1 decides to play this card. Okay, this card allows you to draw 1 card and have +2 servings. Awesome. So once I play this card, I have 2 servings. So it says here, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, each other player with 4 or more cards in their hand chooses and discard a card. That's a very right. So remember, so you know what? I'm not going to play that ability right now. It's going to be hard to keep right now. So I'm just going to draw a card. There we go. And get into additional servings. I'm going to put I will call her instead. Yeah, change to me and check out top card of player 1. Okay, player 2. Player 2 card has this card. I say this card. So player 2, player 1, back player 1 has 2, 3, 4, 5 left. And then player 1 decides to do. Oh. Sorry. So first, I can't explain to the video. This is I can't remember. Never mind. Exactly. One instead decided to get shuffle. There. There's 2 cards here. This shuffle. Put these into the top. Click 2. Draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's something special. It says here that you may change 1 love from your hand with either a 2 love or a maid with them cost of 4 or less from down to 100% means this is okay. So you have had first serve me, which consumes 1 serving, and so called replace the wire card with the love and serve for either take 2 love or any make the cards for that. Now you can do so any cards that you can't. That's going to in your hands. Just go straight into the card pile. The effect does not come into play. Even if you get 2 love, the 2 love has to exist. Alright, it goes to the card house. That means that effectively you only have 1 love to spend with. This isn't much. And this means there's no special additional powers of how it will fit those. So it's quite fun. I don't mind. So I'm going to give that yes. Let's see. I see that. I got to this card pile. I got what for cards here? So I guess I should just shuffle that. There we go. Put these two to the top. Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. 5 cards. That's quite a bit. So here's a bit of a strategy. This time I have her. Draw a card. I have 30 servings. I put this down. Try to return cards. Oh wait, I failed it. I'm going to card. This. So there's 2 servings. Draw 2 cards. And I'll call her. I get 2 on the left. So then I take a look at place 2. I have this card. And pretty much so you can already call 3 maybe that's slightly advanced. So is this possible color a lot making out to have so I have a total of 2 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 love points. 6 love, but unfortunately only 1 employment. So I guess This part's got it. Shuffle. Oh, I don't have to doing this card or drive out. Two. That's usually place it to right here. So place it to sometimes do some combo. First, I'll cut this card out. Draw a card, have additional serving, put a card down, gives me any additional employment. Right? So I can buy two cards within the cost of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 love. So okay, so this time I'm going to show something a little more mean. First, I'm going to get just her. Remember, I can buy one more card, right? In cost 2 less. But I'm going to get that habit card. Now, notice the border difference is different color. The title doesn't sound pleasant. It is not. There are two types of negative cards within the game: bad habits, illness. Alright, so pretty much all the cards pretty much supposed to help, right? Those two cards are supposed to be you or your other player. Both cards there's no point in saying that it was a weakness. The essays from my session there are a few strategies that is besides the point. So this card says that you before that, if you buy this card, you immediately decide who you wish to attach it to. And attaches it to that specific place your private chambers. So it does not shed into that does not stop. It just doesn't shed into anyone's mind. It stays there unless some made or some special ability be removed or replaced or just transferred themselves. So players do this. I'm going to put this. I'm playing the one's private chamber. Okay. However, there's a rule. There's some traditional that you put that bad habit. You can only put bad habit into now in players with private chambers if the private chamber have at least one chamber mate. If the private chamber becomes completely empty, there's nothing there. You cannot put bad habit there. Alright, so because place one is already has two private chambers, it does not exactly affect specifically one maid or the other, it just affects the entire room itself. Okay, so just put there. And what else does she gives minus one from EBP. And the ability says that at the end of the game, if you have 4 or more bad habits in your private quarters, each reward will minus 2 PvP. So you gotta be careful about that. Yeah. So here you do is jump. Oh, and I didn't mention jump on the all yesterday. So now down to the time to explain illness. Right, it's a little different from bad habit. You still pretty much can call it and put it on anyone players here. Private chambers, especially that is at least one private maid available. However, and that includes just because you can supposedly build your own private maid. However, illness is specifically meant for a specific maid. Now, in which to target a specific maid, any of the player's private chamber. For example, let's say player 1 wants to get this, right? And then player 1 decide to put it on this maid. This private maid, imagine she sticks to her. And once the card does that, is it completely negates that maid's abilities completely. So this was this displays onto the maid any player's private quarters that maid loses all her abilities and MVPs. However, you can remove this because it says in your grave, you may discard a 3/3 club card from your hand, and if you do, return to the card to account. So there's a way of self-emphasis, but does that mean that you can just use like a 3/1 love to discard it? No, it specifically says that you need this if you have this card in your hand, when your turn starts, you can discard it immediately and remove that card. If you don't, too bad, it stays with a maid. Okay, now first of all, I think I have to apologize. I think I probably missed out a crucial step when it comes to drawing the cards, because there's supposed to be a special ability for this particular maid, which I didn't demonstrate. So I will show that in a while later. Then again, I have to admit, it also slipped out my mind. Alright, player 1, let's go. Player 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. So player 1 decides, I'm going to put this down and draw a card. Ooh, cool. So remember, I have one more serving, right? So I decide to have her serve me, discard one love, and get myself a 2 love. I'm done. Shuffle. Wait a minute. Yeah, I do. Let's put this here. Okay, so 3, I'll shuffle that later. Player 2 draws 5 cards. Ugh. Sorry. Damn. So this is a total of 5 cards. Too bad I have no drawing to demonstrate to you. Player has 2 love. Bam. What does player 1 to get? Player 2 decides to play the devil's advocate and get another bad habit for player 1. Player 1 grits his teeth with anger, but swallows his anger down and decides to plot on how to completely decimate his opponent. Player 1, let me just show this guy back in. Right, player 1 actually takes his 5 cards, puts it down. Oh, player 1 has 3 maids that he could possibly use, so therefore he decides to go with first this one. Okay, let's see. Draws a card, 2 servings, puts this down, draws another card, still has 2 servings, puts this down, draw 2 cards, and of course first discard maybe this card. Bam. Sorry, over here, don't confuse that. Over here again, don't confuse this. Draws another card. No, draws 2 cards, my mistake. And has still have 2 more servings because I did discard another card. So wow, this is quite useful. So put this down, I draw another card. Are you confused yet? Good. And I still have 2 more servings, and I decide to put her down. I draw another card. Whoa! And I still have 2 more servings. This is alright, yes. And I put this down, and I discard 1 love. Alright. Okay, and I decided to get a card with 4 cards or less. Oh, my battery is running out, despite the fact I tried to charge as much, so I tried to go through this as quickly as possible. And I decided to get Geneve again. Oh, wait, I shouldn't buy. Oh, yeah, that's right. This goes here. Okay, that's it. And I still got 1 more serving, right? 1 more serving, put her down. Check out the player's 2 card. It says, I will discard. There we go. Now, player 2 has. So pretty much I'm out of servings. That's when you start counting the love, and you can tell I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maids out serving you all in 1 turn. That's a lot. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 love with an additional employment. So you can buy 2 cards within the cost of 8 love. That's a lot. That's a lot. And which will help a lot, because first I'm gonna get myself 7. And that's it. I only have 1, so I'm not gonna buy another one. There's a particular strategy to it, but I'll share that in a separate video, I suppose. Okay, awesome. That was kind of fast. Are you confused? Good. So I take this down. Let me shuffle this. Do note, despite the fact that I did kind of didn't really prepare like the 5 cards beforehand, as I said, like every time you end your turn, you discard the cards and draw another 5, right? You need to have those 5 cards in hand already, because when this card comes into play and it tells you, like, it checks out like the first card in the deck, right? It does not mean the one in the hand. It means the ones in your deck. Just to clarify that, all right? So 2 more cards. Let's wait for. Oh, good. Oh, come on, another draw. Oh, good. I can demonstrate this to you now. Now, first, I put this down. Draw a card, right? But wait! Your private maid. What does she say? If any of the maids cause you to draw a card, you may draw an additional card. This effect only happens once per turn. I didn't do that in the previous turn, right? So now I will do that. So I can draw one. And can draw another one. Yeah. However, the effect only happens once, as it says. Per turn. So the next turn you can do it again if you have a card that allows you to draw a card. Now remember, I still got one more serving. So what I'm going to do, I decide to call her. Sacrifice one love and get myself Geneve. Okay, I cannot use her. Put her by the side. So I've used up my servings. Now I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 love. I'm going to get. I'm gonna get. I suppose I'm gonna get her. I'm done. So that is pretty much the gist of the game. It's not the complete gist. I just had to kind of cut it short because my battery, my phone's battery is running dangerously low and dry. So this is part 1. Part 2 is going to come out with a slightly in progress of the game itself, and I'll explain to you how the game ends. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Adios.